All right, perfect. I think we're going to jump in and get started with the session. Thanks for joining everybody today. Excited to talk through this one. So for the January open training, what we're really going to be focusing on here is the recently released swipe features that are available for the questions component. What we'll do for this call is we'll go through and kind of walk through the two available templates that use the swipe feature. And then we'll jump into the builder and show how you can set it up and some of the different customizations that you can make. Before we jump over and open up the templates that are available, if you have a phone with you, if you want to scan this QR code, this will open up one of the templates on your device, so you can go through, interact with it, and get a better feeling for what the customer experience is when they're engaging with one of these swipe templates or these swipe experiences on their actual device. So give people a few more seconds to go ahead and scan that QR code, and then we'll jump over into the builder and go through and play around with it. Perfect. Let's jump over. Perfect. So this is the shopper personality, the swipe personality style quiz. The way this works, this is using the yes no swiping feature that's available inside the platform. So with this feature, what you would do is you set your question, and it's usually like a yes no or a like or dislike style question. And then users can go through and on their phone, like you're probably doing now, after you scan the QR code, you can swipe left or right to either vote yes or no on that option. Alternatively, if you are on desktop, you are able to use these buttons here at the bottom as well for a yes or no. After you go through, it'll again then show you the next question and everything, so you can set up the different questions that these lead into. You can also, if you want to set up more of a customized quiz, you can also work these yes/no swipe questions in with other style questions. So if you wanted to have like a multiple choice question, if this is more along the lines of a survey, you could have like a multiple choice question lead into a swipe question, lead into like a polling question or something like that. So they are very flexible with how you can work them into different quiz styles. Then you can then have your form here. So we'll go through, have this filled out. And then after that, it would then drop you on your result page. So here you go. So in this case, I'm a bargain hunter, and then you can have this like link off to like any shop now pages or wherever you would want to have it link off to. So from there, we can walk through the setup of this experience type. So this is what's it called? This is the template use case for building out that one swipe style experience. Over here on the left, we have a set of instructions that just kind of walk through the step-by-step actions that you'll take to set up this experience type. The first thing that you'll do is update the main banner image. Want to call out here, and we put it into the recommended size and everything. The recommended image size for the banner in this experience is different than our usual recommendation because this swipe experiences are very much mobile first, and that gives the best, what's it called, the best user experience. Instead of having that larger like 1000 by 300 to 400 pixel banner, we've shrunken it down and recommend a 500 pixel by 400 pixel banner. It just translates better to a mobile device. So definitely if you are going to be running, especially a swipe specific experience, try to use this banner image dimensions rather than our usual default banner image for this. One other thing that you'll also notice on the design tab for this template is under the page settings, we've also enforced a 500 pixel width on the page. Again, this is to make sure that the experience on desktop just looks and feels a little nicer. We found when we had it stretched out to auto or something larger than 500 pixels, it just didn't look as crisp or as clean as it did on mobile. So we've also added an additional width, like max width on the page, just to make it look a little nicer for the desktop users. After you go through and upload your main banner image, and you'll do that here in the step section. Take this quiz to find out your personality. This is where you would go through and upload your banner image. If you did want to add in any additional text or any additional call to action on this page, you can do that in the content section down here, and you can have your main like header like call to action at the top in this text block. From there, we have a few questions already in here. So we have 3 questions previously loaded. If you want to add additional questions, what you would do, very much like if you're building out any other quiz within Wyng, you would click on this plus icon and you'll see the various question types that are available. The 2 ones that are the swipe feature are this add a yes, no swipe or add this multiple choice swipe. And we'll jump into the multiple choice swipe setup in a little bit. So after you go through and you add in that, and you add in your question types, if you want to come and actually add the question, you can do that either from the flow tab here. So you can upload the content where it says question 1. Alternatively, if you click on steps, you can also come down here and go ahead and upload your question here as well. So let's do you. That's our question. And then you could upload your image here. For the choice images, we recommend 700 pixels wide by 1000 pixels tall. This is to make sure that there's the best resolution when you're uploading this. It does shrink down on the device. So if you do use a bit larger of an image, it's just going to keep its resolution and look nicer on those mobile devices. So again, you can use the dimensions that are listed here. We also have asset checklists for all of these experiences as well that you can access from the help section as well as from the note section over here. After you go through and upload this, you can then show the question layout. You can only show the image, or if you want to show the question name above the image, you can. So if you do want to add in anything here, you can either hide or show the question name as well. And then you can go through with the answers. If you want to update the answers from yes or no, you are able to do that. But usually for this swipe left, swipe right questions, yes and no is pretty much the default here. Then you would go through and do that those same setups for question 2 and question 3, etc. For these, since they are pretty much you can only put in one answer, as soon as a user does swipe on the question, and this is for the single select as well as the head-to-head swipe, as soon as the answer is recorded, we then automatically send that user to the next question. So there's no like hitting a next button or anything that it auto submits as soon as the user makes the swipe. Down here, you can then implement some of the other usual settings from a Wyng quiz. If you want to allow people to skip and go back to a previous question, you can toggle that on. Then you can also have the button designs here if you want to upload some of the buttons here. You can also, the icon button, so that, that set answer, like the thumb up, thumb down, you are able to go through and customize what that looks like as well. If you come over to the advanced section here, this is where you can see some of the additional customizations that you can make for the, for the swipe style features. We have, again, the usual customize and translate text section. So if you want to translate or update any of the hard-coded text in the component, this is where you would do that. So see, in this case, we have it saying start quiz instead of the next button on that first section. Then down here for use animated answer buttons for yes or no, you have a few different options here. You can use the icon buttons, and that's what you see here, the like thumbs up, thumbs down icon, and then the active, like after a user clicks on it, you have the gradient shaded yes or no, thumbs up, thumbs down. You can also able to customize these. These are just SVG sections of the site. So if you did want to update these, maybe you want to make it your brand logo, or you just want to use a different different visualization rather than the thumbs up, thumbs down icons that we currently have present here. What you can do is you can update this SVG code with whatever SVG you want to use. You can also do that for any of the icons up here too. So you're able to easily go in and customize those sections as well. Alternatively, if you just want to hide the thumbs up, thumbs down button, you can do that by just clicking over on no buttons, and this will just hide it on the page so users won't be able to see it. And the only way to be able to vote on it or update it is doing the swipe. Or if you want to use some custom HTML, you can also switch over here and you can upload your custom HTML for these yes or no buttons. So again, makes it pretty easy to go through and customize what those buttons look like and how they behave. You can also, that overlay graphic that gives users the what's it called, some visual representation of what they're voting on. So let me just go through here. Let me just reload this. So just so you can see where it pops up. When users start to vote, this thumbs up button in the top right, or that thumbs up sticker in the top right, or that thumbs down in the top left, you're also able to customize what those look like. So if you come over here into the builder, where it says down here, use overlay graphics to give users a clear visual feedback. The swipe right overlay is here, and then the swipe left overlay is here. You would just go in, you can upload new feature or new icons there if you want to use something different than the default that we have already enabled here. So again, quick, easy way to just go and update those pieces of creative in this section as well. Once you're done setting up your questions and making any any design changes to either the thumbs up, thumbs down icons or the overlay icons or anything like that, you can then go over, you can set your result. We do have a new result setting specifically for the swiping as well. You'll see if you do add result, you'll see this new section here, match by number of yes answers. So here, this is one of those settings. So you can go through, you can add in your content that user sees, and then you can also say, depending how many times a user says yes to this, or gives a yes answer in the swipe, they would see that result. You can also use the other mapping as well here. So either by specific answers. So if you want them to say either yes or no to a specific answer, and that will go through and dictate what the result is, you're also able to do that too. Cool. Before we jump into the multi-select or the head-to-head matchup swipe, are there any questions around the setup of the single swipe or anything like that before we move on? Cool. So let's jump out. I will again show off the mobile first swipe gesture for the head-to-head matchup. So this allows you to run more of like a poll style experience, or if you want your users to go ahead and vote on two potential items in a head-to-head matchup, that's where you can run something like this. So in this case, we're saying like help this brand decide what their next signature beverage is going to be. So we'll start the poll. And in this case, what we're doing is we're having a head-to-head matchup between in this case, different flavors. So would you rather your drink be sweet or sour? In this case, with the head-to-head matchups, when you start to vote on one and say in this case, we're dragging sour to the right, you're also going to see the other selection get highlighted and start to move the opposite direction, so a user knows which vote they're making. Again, just a nice little visual here. So in this case, let's say sour. In this case, for like we'll say dark and stormy over light and bright. And we'll say floral over smoky. And then again, you can go through, if you want to have the data capture, you can implement a data capture form here. You can also, if you want to make this just a pure engagement play, you can also go through and remove that as well. And we'll hit submit. And then one of the other things that we also wanted to highlight here is you can have the poll results for how users have voted for these various items. So in this case, we're showing all of the matchups and showing how users who have participated in this experience in the past, how they have voted. So you can see which, in this case, which flavors are winning. Cool way, it's also an update from how our poll and scoreboards used to work in the past, where before they had to be inside the quiz, before the result page. Now you can also implement those result scorecards or those poll results on the after submission page, and you can also pick and choose which questions appear in that poll that appears on the result page. Especially cool if you want to run a survey and say you only have one or two poll questions, but say it's a longer survey with some multiple choice questions in there too. You could have on the final page just those poll survey questions appear, just so people can see how not only they voted, but how other users have voted as well. Cool. So next what we'll do, we'll jump over and just go through and show the setup of that of the multiple choice. It's very similar to the single yes no swipe question. Just a few little differences that we want to call out here. So we'll go down here to the poll swipe. Cool. So again, very similar to the single yes no swipe here. You have your instructions over here on the right. We have the banner again, same dimensions as the single swipe as well. We'll come in here, go over to steps, and you'll see here these are the multiple choice with swipe. So it's this question here, which is different from that yes no swipe question. Then we'll jump in here, and this is where you can edit the question. So here, what you'll do is instead of having yes, no, you can actually put in your answer choices. So in this case, you would upload your choice images. And again, these are 600 by 500 pixels, a little bit different than the single swipe. And then you can go through and you can edit what this is. So we'll say, will and say bucks. And in this case, you could do like a fan poll or something like that. You can also, again, show the question text at the top, or you can also show answer labels if you want them to appear above the images as well. Again, just by setting those check boxes here. You can also add in a headline image if you wanted to have like a specific header image for the question itself. You can do that here. And again, we would recommend 600 by 100 for this swipe card here. And again, much like the single swipe, once you answer this question, it automatically takes you to the following question. And then from here on the results, you can do either a default result like we're seeing here, or you can also do it by specific answers that a user made when they're voting. On the result card, I just want to show that here. So the behavior, if you want to show a poll on the result card, what you'll do is under this select behavior, this is where you usually have things like the show content, redirect to another page in this experience, show a web page, like different things like that. You'll also see this show a scoreboard option. And this is where if you select that, you'll be able to see all of the various questions, the poll questions that are in this experience. And then you can go through, if you want to add an additional customized label, you can add that here. And then if you want to add in, say, a smaller, like a smaller thumbnail image to appear on that poll, you can upload those thumbnails here. And again, those images should be 75 by 75. So you can go through and do that. And then you can also set if you want the visualization to be just a plain text with the numbers, or if you do want horizontal bars, more like the bar graph style view. You can also set that here. And then if you want additional text copy on the page, you can go through and you can add that in this section down here. So again, fun, nice way to show, especially if you are running more of a polling experience with the swipe feature, how you can show that on the result page rather than inside the actual quiz itself. Cool. Any questions around the setup again of either the single swipe experience, the head-to-head swiping, multiple choice kind of swiping option, or just the swiping features in general? Yep, no worries. Like I said, we tried to make this as easy to set up as possible for non-technical users. So definitely jump in, start building out these kind of experiences and playing around with the features. If you do have any feedback as you're going through, definitely reach out and let us know. We've already earmarked a few updates that we're going to be making to these. It's more so just the kind in terms of like a UX UI kind of layout. Like one of the ones that we'll be doing, I can just show quickly right here, is we're actually going to be re-engineering or replacing the thumbs up, thumbs down icon on the images. So in the future, the green one will be at the opposite corner, just so you can see it the whole time as you go through and swipe it over. And I think we're also going to be changing up what that looks like, making it a little sleeker in terms of the design. Like I said, you are able to update it yourself in the back end anyway, but we're going to kind of update that default so it looks a little bit a little sleeker and also move the location of it. Yeah, we're excited to see how our clients start using this. I know we've had a few of our alcohol beverage clients that we work with think about using this as like kind of like a recipe finder or like a recipe recommendation thing based on taste. We've had a few travel clients that have been interested in this to go ahead and create kind of like a location wish list or trip wish list for people to go in and vote between either like favorite different properties that they may want to go to, locations, or specific like what's it called, like tour, like private tours, like things like that, or activities that people may be interested in. um, Another one that we've seen from some of our retail clients is creating kind of like wish list or like lookbook kind of things where people can go through and like say it's like a clothing brand, select things that people like in terms of their style to save for later. Again, just a quick, fun, engaging way to get people to like or dislike specific things. I believe also some of our music industry clients have also shown quite a bit of interest in this for matchups between songs, voting on like popular like or possible album art, different things like that. So a fun way for users or brands to engage with their users by using this new swipe feature. Cool. If there aren't any other questions, or if people just want to reach out separately, you guys have my email or supports email. Definitely feel free to reach out with any questions that you maybe have. More than happy to kind of talk through anything. Or if you do have, like I said, if you do play around with it and you have feedback, definitely reach out and let us know. We're always looking to improve the features and the user experience within any of these new Wing features that get released. And if not,